Every year for NBA fans, the offseason provides a sense of excitement and newfound hope that your team's going to make the finals. Whether it was a draft pick, whether it was a trade, unless you're the Nets, then it didn't do that. I'm just here to kind of bring everybody down to earth on what your team will probably do this coming season.
Shut up and sit down.
The 76ers, you were the worst team in the league last year, and a good season for you next year would be winning 25 games. That's just sad. I'm pretty sure their motto is, who needs a good point guard anyway? Also, rumor has it the Sixers go by the Sixers because that's how many centers they have. Wait, I thought the Lakers retired last year. Well, hey, at least you improved from the worst center in the league to the second worst center in the league. That's always a plus. Just to put it into perspective, the Sixers have won a playoff game more recently than you. I find the Nets ironic. They go by the Nets, yet that's something they have the hardest time getting the ball to go through. A win for the Nets this season would literally be trading Lopez before he breaks his foot. At least you have Jeremy Lin's ever-changing hairstyle to keep you entertained this season. It would probably make sense for your mascot to just kind of stay laying in the fetal position, rocking back and forth for the whole season. Fun fact, a phoenix actually attains new life by rising from the ashes of the phoenix that died before it. Weird enough though, the Phoenix Suns have been dead for like 5 years and we're still waiting for them to come back. I've been told the Phoenix Suns gorilla mascot has been dragging around Booker in its little pin, hoping that a zookeeper would kill it so that it doesn't have to live through another season. R.I.P. Harambe. The Phoenix Suns are so good at not living up to the hype, the only bright side on this team is the sun itself. I'm curious as to how many point guards they go and get this season. I really can't wait till Karl Anthony Towns wins a championship with the Celtics. These guys have been 2 years away from a rebuild for about 6 years, and they're still 2 years away from a rebuild. I do feel bad for the Timberwolves players though, because in the postseason, the weather's still not that great, so they're not going to have much to do when they're home. Pelicans, or like Pelicans stay healthy. Jared Lewis is this team's therapist. I'm willing to bet he was really busy last year, and he's going to be even busier this year. Anthony Davis's last year and the injury concern already this year puts the ow in brow. This team would have been good in 2010. They are so old that Jurassic Park brings back memories. This literally might be the first time the Illuminati don't want anything to do with a triangle. Good luck with that, Derrick Rose. I'll be honest, I bet it sucks being a Sacramento Kings fan. Your team is so irrelevant, if you say you're a Kings fan, they'll think you're talking about a hockey team. I'm literally taking bets on how long it takes for Boogie to get really upset and then them fire their coach again. The Kings' motto is, why rebuild a team when you could rebuild a stadium and add VR? Good thing you'll be able to watch their centers suck really up close. Hey, good job, Bucks. At least you got rid of Michael Carter-Williams. Remember when you traded Brandon Knight for him? You got Tony Snell. I heard a report coming from the locker room that Jason Kidd told Thon Maker to act his age, so he retired. I find it ironic. Everybody on the Bucks is super tall, yet they're still going to come up short this year. Hey, Nuggets fans, remember when you had Melo? Good times. Good times. Hey, here's a plus. At least you'll be allowed to be high when you have to watch Gallinari get hurt again and Will Barton chuck up threes. The Nuggets are literally like that one high friend that's just way too easy to make fun of, so you don't really do it because you're not sure if he's really going to understand it anyway. Jazz fans. Yeah. I'm sorry you guys can't drink. You know Jazz happened in New Orleans too, right? Also, I saw that your own stadium tweeted out the Michael Jordan shot. That must suck. I'll be honest, the Jazz seem like one of those teams that at the end of the game when they lost, they say, well, at least we had fun. Ah, yes, the Wizards. John Wall, that's your best player, and I think it's funny because the team looks like they hit a wall. You guys are the Wizards, though, so hopefully you can look in your book of spells to find like a healing potion for every bone in Bradley Beal's body. But hey, on the bright side, at least you get to watch Gortat get older for one more year. Remember a few weeks ago when the SpaceX rocket exploded on their launch pad? Yeah, that's going to be a pretty good description of what it's going to be like for the Rockets this season. I find James Harden's name ironic because he's literally the softest guy when it comes to defense. You guys literally looked at the Pelicans last year, who were having one of the worst years they've ever had, and said, I'll have some of that. Good luck with Gordon and Anderson. Oh, and while we're at it, you thought Nene would be a good replacement for Howard. The Chicago Bulls, congratulations guys, you won Summer League. Hold on to it because your season's not going to get much better. Good thing he got rid of Derrick Rose. That dude was an injury liability, unlike Dwayne Wade. But I'll be honest, getting Dwayne and Rondo makes sense. There's already enough shootings in Chicago to begin with. Grizzlies, yes, they're all about the grit and the grind. You know, conveniently, that's also what Chandler Parsons' knee is all about these days. I'm hearing the only reason Chandler Parsons went to the Grizzlies was because he knew he would have Christmas off. It's funny, you know, Tennessee is the volunteer state, and literally at the end of last season, they were just taking volunteers at anybody who wanted to play point guard. Mavericks, right. I'm willing to bet Mark Cuban thinks Mavs fans are so dumb that they'll see Curry, Barnes, and Bogut on a ticket, and they'll sell out arenas. I had a few more jokes to make about the Mavs, but it would only seem fitting to go back to the Clippers. But seriously though, let's move on from the Mavs. I feel like I'm beating a dead horse here. Looking at you, Dirk. The Trailblazers. Rumor has it that CJ McCollum and Damian Lillard had to get their screen doors removed from their house because they can't get through anything that's a screen. Chill out, Blazers fans, don't get defensive. Not like you're very good at being defensive anyway. You know, I really did think about skipping the Trailblazers. You know, they get overlooked every season anyway. The Pistons. More like tons of missed free throws. I'll be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if Andre Drummond's free throw percentage is lower than the percentage of lead in Flint's waters. You know, they've got the Detroit muscle thing going, but they probably should have considered Detroit bone as well because there's already a recall out on Reggie Jackson's knee this year. Yes, the Pacers. You know what the Pacers and Matt Taiteo's internet girlfriend have in common? They were relevant in 2013. Paul George, he goes by PG-13, but I think we should start calling him rated R because that leg injury was so disgusting. I don't know what I'd rather watch though, that leg injury over and over or have to watch Hibbert play a game of basketball. The Miami Heat. Honestly, what you guys did to D-Wade was just so cold.
Like a Yeti eating frozen spaghetti.
The Miami Heat organization definitely has something going on behind the scenes because all of your stars are leaving for way worse areas. LeBron James, he goes to Cleveland. D-Wade, he's going to Chicago. Chris Bosh goes to some place called Blood Clots. I've never been there, but I hear it's terrible. At least we have Hassan Whiteside's Snapchat stories to look forward to. The Charlotte Hornets. I find it ironic that you guys are in Charlotte when your team has gone through so many identity changes themselves. Your best player is Michael Jordan, and he hasn't played in 13 years. The Hornets team is so unexciting on paper that if it were a person, they would have sex in the missionary position every time. Celtics fans, I'm glad your team was able to break barriers and play the first female player in the NBA. I believe she goes by Kelly. I hear she's kinky. She likes to dislocate shoulders. You know, Dunkin' Donuts first started in Massachusetts. It's kind of ironic though because I'm pretty sure Isaiah Thomas is so short he couldn't dunk his own donuts. But let's be honest, I'm able to make a lot of quality jokes about the Celtics, but I can't make one really good one. Atlanta Hawks. I hear you guys got rid of Teague because you were worried your season was looking really dim, and you wanted Schroeder to start because he's got that one really bright spot. The Hawks fans are so bad that they can only sell out their arena when they have a Tinder night. By the way, I'm swiping left on their chances of making the playoffs this year. Yes, the Clippers. You know that song by Aaliyah, Try Again?
Dust yourself off and try again. You can dust it off and try again, try again.
Pretty sure she wrote that after your team. I mean, really, it's like watching a friend get rejected over and over and over. Like, at what point do you pull them to the side and say, man, it's kind of getting embarrassing. Maybe you should try something different. But hey, Clippers fans, at least you have this. You're the hipsters of the league. You blew a 3-1 lead before the Warriors made it cool. The Oklahoma City Thunder. What can I say? They're like that ex-girlfriend that keeps calling you, talking about how her life is better and how she's going to better herself when you really know you're not. Also, I wonder how much with Durant leaving they regret letting Harden go. Also, if we're being completely honest, Westbrook looks like a turtle. And if he goes down this season, there will literally be no Thunder with this team. Raptors fans, your team's celebrity is a bandwagon to every other NBA team that's playing well at the time. I imagine Kyle Lowry and Valanciunas' friendship is a lot like that from Of Mice and Men, you know, Lenny and George. I hope by making that reference, I'm not going above the educational level in Toronto. Also, if we're talking about it, NBA stands for National Basketball Association. National. Cavs fans, the Republican National Convention was held in your stadium. I bet LeBron James felt right at home with all those receding hairlines. No joke here, literally. Your fan base was so deprived of a championship, some guy actually ate shit off of the ground. Good to see Birdman's enjoying his time in Cleveland. The San Antonio Spurs. Kawhi did you guys lose to the Thunder? They literally had Dion Waiters. Honestly, I have like 3 more really good jokes for the Spurs, but I'm going to bench them until the playoffs. And honestly, I don't think your fans would like it anyway. If you're anything like the Spurs, you don't have any emotion. The Golden State Warriors, what can I say? What's the over-under on nut shots for them this season? The Warriors last year should have came with a label saying keep out of reach of children, choking hazard. But seriously, don't let any of this video distract you from the fact that the Warriors blew a 3-1 lead in the finals to the Cavs. Got a problem with something I said? Hit me up on Twitter, @JustinC on the air. Oh, and listen to my podcast, the Drive and Dish NBA podcast. Find it on iTunes.